everybody, it's Terry again. Welcome back to my kitchen. While the tomato soup is simmering away, I'm going to do the biscuits. So in the oven, I have my trusty cast iron pan heating up along with the oven to 425. And in my bowl, I have the flour, a little bit of sugar, baking powder, salt, and I've kind of mixed it all up. And then I have a fork, and I have some buttermilk and some low-fat milk mixed in together. So here's my cold butter, about half a cup, 8 tablespoons, which is 1 stick. And first of all, coat the pieces with flour. That's the first thing you have to do. And the next is just smush. Get in there and smush. If you struggle to push your fingers together, you can use a pastry cutter, or you can just use the bottom of the bowl and squish. Smush it all together until it becomes the size of a pea. All the measurements for all our recipes will be on the recipe cards posted on the website. These are plain buttermilk biscuits. You can add chives, which are really good. You can add cheddar cheese. You could add Gruyere cheese. You could add bacon. Whatever you add to biscuits just has to be dry. Don't add tomatoes, it's wet, you'll end up with basically Play-Doh. And I always cook my biscuits in a cast iron. I'm pretty addicted to my cast iron pan. So now, I use a fork. And here goes my liquid. Don't add it all at once. Let's take a look and see. Flour absorbs liquid at different rates. Different flour absorbs differently. Where you live is different. The temperature outside. So as you can see, some of it's come together, but I have quite a lot of dry flour still left. So we're gonna add a little bit more. I know everybody says baking recipes are an exact science and you shouldn't mix it up, but sometimes when you're doing something like this, the amount of liquid matters. And it looks and feels like I'm gonna need it all. I'm now gonna bring this together in a rough dough. Making sure, picking it up, turning it over. Bring it together. Pick it up, smush it together. You'll be able to see all this flour that is still in the bottom of my bowl? That's starting to tell me that I'm thinking I need a little bit more milk than it even said. So, shake your buttermilk up. Let's go with maybe 2 tablespoons-ish. See how that goes. Now, keep the part that came together off to the side. Take all the leftover flour that wasn't coming together and mix only that into the addition. And then bring it together. And I think we're good. So now I'm gonna make a mess. Turn it out on your board. Okay. The trick with biscuits to remember is you're not making a bread dough. You should not have a perfectly formed ball of dough. It should be like this with cooks and crannies. So now, when I'm making my biscuit, I don't use a rolling pin. Flatten, and then fold over, turn, push it together. Push, push, fold. When I make puff pastry, I make it the same way. So now I've done it twice, and that's all. I don't want to do anything more. So now I'm going to take the heel of my hand, and I'm going to push it. Now, from experience, I'm going to say I want it, I'm not sure what this is, 1/2 inch, 1 inch, not sure, I'm not good with measurements. Anybody who knows me knows numbers are not my thing. Okay, push it out. Now, my son's going to hand me my trusty biscuit cutter. Thank you. So now, line, push. Do not twist. When you twist a cutter, what happens is you end up sealing the edges, and then the biscuit can't rise, and so you end up with hockey pucks. Believe me, I've done the hockey puck thing. Again, if it feels a little thick to you, and this sort of does in the middle, push down. So now I'm going to take the cast iron out of the oven. Dry, no oil, no butter. Line them up. I roll one more time. I don't really roll, but I bring it together and push. They're not going to expand, so they can touch each other. And what I've got here is what could be two that aren't going to be perfect, but I don't want to play with the dough anymore. So I push it together and make up my own shape. Same with this. So push it together, make up our own shape. And so now I'm going to put these back in the oven after I lightly brush the tops with some more buttermilk, and then we'll be back to see what they look like once they've cooked. We're back again. The biscuits have come out of the oven. My oven was again 425, and this batch here took about 22 minutes. The recipe does say 10 to 15, but because mine are fairly thick, it took a little bit longer. So they are very hot. They are much better warm with butter or jam if you want. And they're light and fluffy and flaky because we folded rather than rolled. So there you go. Our biscuits, which are great for dunking any of the soups that you watched us make today. Enjoy and stay warm.